500 fills up a room.
It fills up a big ass room.
I can't throw a party and invite 500 people.
I can't name 500 people.
Me neither. That's yeah. I don't think most people can. Actually, that's like a fun Mr. Beast type video. Yo.
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
Wait, I don't know if I like that. Let's start.
You know we have to record an intro at some point today.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Our editor is getting I'm pissing him off, I swear.
Wait, why does he want an intro? I feel like lots of people don't have intros.
He just okay, so for those of you who have been following us, we finally got a YouTube channel and started posting things. Our editor's handling all of it and making thumbnails and all this stuff, and it's growing.
Latest episode has 54 views.
56 on my end.
Oh, why does it say 54 on mine?
Refreshed. I don't know. Anyway, the guy's he listened to the Zencaster produced one, the audio only, and he's like, ugh, can I put an intro on this, please? Or can I put music to the start of it? He just
doesn't like the hard cold open, just straight into you and me talking about absolute and utter bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, he sent me an AI one. It was okay, but I feel like if we're gonna do an intro, we might as well record it. So now the ball's in our court.
We can try it, but I do feel like a lot of the catch-up podcasts that I have started listening to don't do intros, and so I'm not totally convinced I want an audio intro.
I'm fine either. I'm fine either way. Happy to tell him that we're not doing one.
I mean, to be fair, he is getting more views than we are, so maybe we should shut up and listen to the expert.
Yeah. That's how I felt about it. Yeah. He also was. I was like, yeah, Andrew and our goal is 300 subscribers. 500 would be incredible. That's we're good.
500, and I'm pretty sure we're superstars.
Yeah, exactly. 500 fills up a room.
It fills up a big ass room.
I can't throw a party and invite 500 people.
I can't name 500 people.
Me neither. That's yeah. I don't think most people can, actually. That's a fun Mr. Beast type video. It's
I saw in one of the recent episodes of Jet Lag, it was so bad. They were trying to name I think it was name 50 women or 100 women or something like that, and they couldn't do it, and it was so bad.
Oh,
they were like, this will be so easy. We're going to do this in 10 minutes flat. And then they were like, oh no, why is this so hard?
like real people or
real women? Names? Yeah. It had to be 100 actual women or something like that.
More than 30 women.
That's
general. That's not true.
Can't be true.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things, not to make excuses, but I feel like it's one of those things where it if there was no pressure, you could do it easily, but because there's the time pressure, your brain just goes blank.
Fair. I mean, you're on camera. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they suck in real life. Hard to say.
I hope not, because I fucking love Jet Lag.
Yeah. You watched the New York City one?
It's so good. Yeah, I was enjoying it so much. I have realized that I will just always root against Sam, which I don't. I don't know why. I love Sam. He seems like a great guy, but I think because he's the boss, I'm just always going to root against him.
I see. I root against, what is it? Sam,
Adam, and Ben.
Yeah. I think I root against Ben.
I love Ben.
I hate Ben.
I love Ben.
I don't hate Ben. I just don't want him to win.
I love Ben. I do think it was cool in the latest episode that they broke up Adam and Ben, because they've been together in every season ever. It's always been the two of them against, well, I guess the tag games it changes. But in the team-based games, it's always the two of them against Sam and someone else. It was fun to see them split up for once.
Yeah. I do like Adam and Ben as a duo, for what it's worth.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're an incredible duo. They just know each other too well.
Yeah, not because of Ben. Anyway, before this becomes a jet lag.
Such a fucking hater.
Before this becomes a jet lag fan podcast, um, while they were in New York filming, I was in SF. That's why we didn't record last week.
Oh yeah, how was RSA?
Good. It was the busiest RSA I've personally ever had, which was kind of insane. I've
Cool.
never
Like you were just
scheduled
in meetings
meetings.
with potential clients and
Yeah,
potential
yeah.
clients, existing clients, like
existing clients, prospects, all that sort
Cool.
of stuff. Saw Jay Cran. He's good.
nice. Did you do a bunch of stuff to get these lined up ahead of time, or was it
No,
all
I was planning
inbound?
them on the flight and in my hotel.
Nice. Were you
like, day of?
How'd you set these up? Were you DMing people or like emailing people or?
Yeah, like LinkedIn, a lot of LinkedIn, a lot of folks just, I mean, it wasn't just like meetings, it was also going to like client happy hours and then meetings spawn out of that. It's like, oh, do you want to talk tomorrow? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
People that I, end up like bumping into. It's like, oh, do you want to meet up? So a lot of it is super spontaneous.
Cool.
But also just on LinkedIn, people just wanted to meet up.
I saw a bunch of pictures from our friend Mike Privet.
Yes.
Seems like he had a good time.
Yeah, we tried Tim Tams together for the first time. It was pretty good. Not bad. Met another agency founder, William Donald, a fan of the pod, apparently.
No way.
Sodium Halogen. They do like product for cybersecurity.
Ooh, that's a cool name. Sodium Halogen.
Well, they've done like some pretty legit stuff, like companies, which is pretty crazy.
How do you spell halogen?
HALOGEN. Halogen.
This is a cool name.
8th grade spelling bee winner. That's a lie.
Wow, a cybersecurity product design agency.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know another one of these existed.
Me neither.
Did I tell you one of my friends, like after we talked a few months ago, decided to focus on product design for cybersecurity? So that's now his positioning. Cartesian.com.
Okay.
Also a good name. Cartisian, Cartesian.com. And yeah, his positioning is now product design for cybersecurity. Over the years, he's also done like some Hollywood stuff and like he has some crazy names.
Wait,
like,
how do you spell Cartesian?
Cartisen.
I see. Not I see. Wait.
Yeah.
No, I'm still getting the wrong one. Cartisian. En.
Yeah. He's worked for like Riot Games and like Reddit and eBay and
got it.
Some big ass names.
Yeah, sick, amazing. I hate your name. I hate the Cartesian name. But,
really, I like it.
I think if like there wasn't Cartesian as like a, like I just kept misspelling the word.
Oh wait, fuck. What is? Oh, I thought these were spelled the same way.
No.
Huh.
Yeah.
I wonder where Cartesian came from then.
Yeah. It's just a misspelling. So, not a misspelling. I'm sure it means something else that I don't know. But
no idea.
That's what's killing me. Anyway, cool, sick. So many of you guys.
Whoa! You guys, I'm a Martech founder. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Will and Co. So many of these guys. There's Good Code, Cartesian, Bright Scout.
Is Good Code all in on cybersecurity now, or is it just like?
Yeah, they're full cyber. They were doing like websites too. Met that guy too at RSA.
They don't make it clear on their site that they're focused on cyber.
I don't know. I mean, I guess they probably also do like B2B as well. I feel like everyone in cyber also is willing to do like B2B tech in general.
I mean, we did B2B stuff. We just didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
We only talked about the cyber stuff.
Yeah. Cyber sexy.
Is it? It was more just sometimes cyber is boring as hell. I like boring, for the record. I think boring niches are the interesting ones usually. Like, I guess that sounds very counterintuitive, but like the niches that other people find boring, I often find interesting because they're overlooked and there's like, the people who are nerds about them are hardcore nerds about them.
Sure. I'll take it. Good save. Anyway, half my design team isn't here this week. They're all out of office.
Cool.
They are at a Config party.
Oh, sick. They all decided to go to Config. That's cool.
We sent them.
Nice.
We got
Nice,
budget for
nice.
that now.
That's rad.
I sent them on a mission to go hire me more designers, though. I was like, anyone you meet that you like, give me their LinkedIn. I don't care. Like,
Hell
fill
yeah.
up our pipeline.
Love it. Yeah, it looks like Figma's rolling out some cool shit. Like they're rolling out a Framer competitor. They're rolling out something to do with like creating brand assets.
Nice.
The draw thing is interesting. I'm like, is that
the draw thing?
Yeah, you can now like draw in Figma. Like they're adding like brushes and shit. I think.
Interesting.
That one makes a lot less sense to me than the Framer one. The Framer one and the like brand assets one, those things make a lot of sense. But
yeah, the Framer thing I love because it means that we get to just get the prototype a lot faster. You know.
Are you would you guys ever switch off of Webflow
into like Framer or
like Figma websites?
Maybe.
Depend on the CMS, like how good the CMS is.
Yeah, depends on. I somehow doubt Figma CMS will be great. I don't think that Framer CMS is that great. Well, I think Margins is going to support all of it at some point, because especially if all the CMS stuff experiences suck. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I like Figma for the ability that we can prototype. I don't like Framer because of the way it does its like you're not snapping objects to a grid. You're just absolute positioning a lot of things, and then it's getting published because because it wants you to because it's not. So the cool thing about Framer and why a lot of people from like who are used to Figma and a lot of designers like it, and their positioning is for designers, is because fundamentally you move objects on the thing, whereas like Webflow is just like a visual version of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and you have to like stick to like hard and fast rules, or the best practice is to do that. It's the same thing with Framer. I just think it's easier with Framer to like start absolute positioning as many things as you want to, and at that point it's just like, I don't know, not worth it.
So on this topic, I am starting to feel like I should probably move the MetaMonster site over to a CMS sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Because like it's just going to get harder the more pages I build up. Migrations are more of a pain in the ass when you have more content.
Yeah.
And I want to use a CMS so that we can dog food our own product, and I want to use a CMS so that if I have other people contributing to the website at some point, they don't have to like push stuff up to Git. That seems like probably not the best process for the long run. Pitch me on Webflow. Like obviously I have used Webflow, and I think probably if I'm going to move it to a CMS, it should either be WordPress, which I would probably do as like headless WordPress, I think. So WordPress, Webflow, or Shopify, and I'm obviously not going to do Shopify because we're not an e-commerce business. So you really just have to convince me to use Webflow over WordPress. But I'm also like, I don't know, for some reason I still feel reluctant to like migrate it over to Webflow. Although Webflow Cloud does have me more excited about the future of Webflow and just being able to build more interactive stuff into Webflow.
Yeah, that was going to be my 2 words for you. Webflow Cloud.
Webflow Cloud supports Astro, and so there's part of me that's like, could I just deploy the current, like, could I somehow deploy the current MetaMonster site to Webflow Cloud?
It did make me wonder, like, is this just going to be like, should we just do more sanity CMS things instead of doing margins at this point? Like with the fact that you can be full stack, can you start bringing your own CMS and connecting it? And at that point, it kind of becomes a little bit useless to have a margins ish. Not exactly.
I could also go with a headless CMS. I could leave the code as is, just leave it in Astro, and I could implement a headless CMS, and then we just have to build an integration for that CMS. the thing that I've always struggled with all the headless CMSs is like
Mhm.
you have to architect them. Like you have
Yeah.
to design your data objects and mappings and everything. And it's if you haven't
Mhm.
built a ton of content websites and done a lot of that, it's really easy to design yourself into a corner where it's
Mm.
like hard to keep content up to date.
Is that not the same as just like the experience of the Webflow though? Not the designing yourself into a corner, but like the composability of like a headless CMS and Webflow, just choosing like this is gonna be rich text and this is gonna be a whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess you
I
have a
don't know.
point there.
I don't do a lot of like I don't know whatever people are using, but
Yeah. I just remember we built we built an early version of the Gray Noise site on Sanity, a Sanity backend, and their marketing team hated it because they like we hadn't built a ton of content sites, and so it was just like a little bit rigid, and so it made it hard for them to make updates.
I see what you're saying. I see. Yeah, I think that's always been like the nice thing about Webflow is that you can edit CMS items and static content at the same time. But I think when you do a headless CMS, you start to have to like start linking everything so nothing is static, or else it becomes a pain in the ass for a marketer to develop. Anyway, to sell you on Webflow, between Webflow and WordPress, I don't know how I would sell you on Webflow versus WordPress. WordPress is pretty good. It's I think okay, I think
Dude, all you have to do is say, Andrew, you don't want to write PHP, and then we're done.
yeah, or you know, you don't want to like install Elementor, and every time there's an update, the plugin breaks, and then now your website has to be fixed. I think that's the only like
Yeah, if I
you just
went
don't want
the
that.
I think the like I've always wanted to like find a good WordPress workflow that
Mhm.
made WordPress feel more like building modern like
Yeah,
websites and modern web applications. Like, and I know that they're out there, that there are people who have good workflows for pushing things to Git and like using Gutenberg and not using a bunch of
yeah,
like a bunch of plugins. But it, honestly, the WordPress ecosystem is so overwhelming to me because there's just so much shit out there and so much of it is bad that I find myself just like every time I start going, I should build a WordPress site, just going like, nope, nope, nope. I feel like I'm drowning when I try to build WordPress sites.
yeah. It also means you have to learn PHP.
And I don't hate PHP. Let me be clear. I would love to learn Laravel one of these days. Laravel.
Laravel. I don't know. Laravel.
Love to learn Laravel one of these days. I have nothing against PHP. But it's also not what I know, and so it's like, why waste the time learning something new just to like set up a content site? Yeah. So I'm probably gonna I'm probably going to give myself at least a few days and see how fast I could replicate most of the MetaMonster site. And if I can do it relatively quickly, then I'm probably going to end up switching us over to Webflow so that we can, dog food.
Yeah. I think the last thing to say about that on my end is like I think you can build what you currently have with either pretty quickly, but I think that you would be making a lot of sloppier choices doing it quickly with WordPress than you would with Webflow because of the fact that like out of the box there's just shit you want to turn off with Webflow. You have to like reset up posts so they don't like your slugs aren't like 2025/10/1/ whatever, or all these other things that like you just don't have to do because you basically start from scratch on a new Webflow site. Yeah.
This is super interesting, by the way.
Mhm.
One of the things that's holding me back from moving to Webflow
Yeah.
is like I've gotten pretty used to using the cursor agent, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to go into Webflow and be like, move this thing here, do this.
No, there's MCP for Webflow. There's Claude. I think there's Claude and Webflow integrations.
How are people really using that to build out Webflow sites? Like,
no, I think it's someone's engineering project.
Yeah,
someone got promoted for making that.
Webflow also has like a whole like AI and Webflow section on their site, but doesn't look like the experience and like workflow is nearly as good as messing around in Claude agents. And there's part of me that wonders if like that's a like kind of, if that'll end up being the thing that hurts Webflow more than anything else, is like more and more people doing kind of custom sites. Maybe I should stick with the custom site. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't really buy that.
I don't buy that. I think the fact that their direction is going enterprise, I don't buy that enterprise. Nike's never going to let you vibe code their entire e-commerce site, you know. Nike's never going to let you vibe code.
About RSA, any other like cool takeaways or like anything that you are feeling hyped about coming out of the conference?
I mean, I think the thing that I'm probably the most hyped about is my new product marketer went, and then my creative director went, and I think like one of the major like shifts that I'm trying to push for at the agency is, a lot of our work has been good. Like this is self-aggrandizing, but like it's been good because like I know a shortcut, right? I've met with the client, I know what they want, and I can say, hey, do like they're basically looking for like this site, but in these colors and with these things changed, and then go execute that thing. And that's just from like years of like building up a giant mental database of like websites in my head and like cybersecurity companies. But it means that I'm always the like strategic bottleneck, because like I know why this stuff works.
Yeah. You also are the only one on the team, maybe other than Ben, who has actually used security products ever.
Yeah.
And you do have like a massive, like, you know, the big names in security and the market categories better than anyone else on the team right now.
Yeah.
Which is really important for like positioning and also just like understanding things. Like I lean on you in product design projects because I'm like, hey, this client is, trying to build this thing. Like, what should we be looking at?
Yeah, fair. Thanks. Anyway, I think you do this well, right? I think like because you can like. I guess what I'm saying is like I don't have to like throw shortcuts over the fence on your end because you can provide a little bit of that strategy thing from the ground up. And like the way we bill for product means that we can bill for that expiration time as well. Whereas sometimes when we bill for websites, we don't always bill for that as much as we have to move quickly. Point being is that because I have these two people, they can now go and like think about the strategy from the ground up. And now there's two people, and now when they're on retainer, the clients are on retainer, strategy calls for like what else the client can be doing don't have to just come from like me. They can be more